Alright guys, what's up and welcome to the next weekly Ramble video today. It's very special for me because, as you may notice, we're kind of actually in somewhat of a setup. So this is the first time since we've really started the weekly Ramble that I've got not only a brand new camera, a new light source, we've got the background from the podcast, we've got audio, we've got all the good stuff tied together for the weekly Ramble, so I could not be more excited. I am a stickler for video quality. That's just something that I'm into, and thankfully with the new camera that we are shooting this on, the video quality is a lot better. We get a little bit more depth of field, some cool stuff. Not interesting to any Magic players, but if you're a photographer or a videographer out there, you might be interested in something like that. So, yeah, really excited about that. Happy to actually have a legit setup. Also, something that you probably noticed on the podcast if you're watching on YouTube. So yesterday we posted the podcast episode, but we did not have video for that. Two reasons for that. One, we would do video on this camera, but there is a limit as far as video length goes. And 9 times out of 10, we bust that limit by a long way. And so while this is a good camera for stuff like shorter films and things like that, it's not good for anything above 30 minutes because it just literally won't shoot that far. So it's fine. I'm not too worried about it, honestly. We've been talking about going audio only for the podcast for a while. We want to really gauge your response to it because obviously if it's something that bothers you guys and you want the video back, we'll put the video back. It's just honestly, and we explained this in the podcast episode, the reason we're cutting back so much on that video is because it takes the export time with video, roughly 10 hours, we'll say. 8 to 12 is really kind of the gauge. It really depends on the length of the video, but because we're shooting, it is on a GoPro, but it's 2.7K footage. It just takes forever to actually go through, export. It also takes a little bit longer to edit, though honestly not that long because all we do is throw some color grading on there and a couple of extra things. And then it's kind of good to go, but we do have to tie up a computer for 10 hours. And that tends to be a really big deal when we're trying to post 5 to 6 videos a week. We just can't do it all, unfortunately. It just runs into our time too much, along, of course, with full-time jobs. We've got other things going on. So we decided to go audio only, which cuts that export time from 10 hours, roughly, to about half an hour. Which is huge. I was able to export the latest podcast episode in just over half an hour, which means I could literally just set my laptop up, which is here. I know you guys can't see it, but I could literally set my laptop up to export. Half an hour later at work, wherever I was able to just have the video completed. So it just makes that a whole lot easier. And that allows us, the idea being, it allows us to go into more and more things like deck techs or card spotlight videos, or any other videos that you guys think you'd want to see. This gives us the opportunity to do it. And so we're really excited about that. We've also noticed, just based on analytics and things like that, the podcast episodes do fairly well, but deck tech videos and box opening videos, things like that, sort of the more like traditional kind of Magic content, seems to do really well in comparison. And so we want to kind of focus on that content, not only to drive the channel up and hopefully make sponsors happy and do all that stuff, but we also just want to be able to post information that you guys care about. And so that's sort of our way of doing that. Again, we want to hear your responses with it. So if it's something that bothers you, please let us know. Comment section below. Roast us if you feel like you need to, but we just really want to make sure that we're posting the best content that we can for you guys, and as much of it as we possibly can. So that's kind of where we're at with that. But yeah, again, comment section below, let us know what you think. So next, we have cubing actually coming up more and more. So we posted on Instagram a little bit. Will and I, will technically be like 2 nights ago. We actually Winston drafted the full cube. I've talked about this a couple times already on the weekly rambles, that we're actually cubing a little bit more and more. I'm keeping it together this time, which is the first time in a while. And hopefully I can start updating it as new sets come out and etc. But we actually got to sit down and cube. We had a great time. We didn't get to play as many matches. He actually had to get home, but we did get to play a game. and it was a lot of fun. It was a good time. The night before tonight, something like that, we also are going to be cubing, or will have cubed. It's weird pre-recording videos. We will have cubed with Parks, who you guys hopefully know from the channel, along with his roommate, who I've not met yet. So, or I will not have met until I played Magic with him. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so we're actually going to sit down and the four of us get to cube out a little bit. I am so excited to be able to just say, hey, do you want to cube tonight? And we get to cube tonight, and it is awesome. It's just one of those things, like, cubing is kind of my favorite style of Magic because it ties together the draft element where you don't know what you're going to get when you sit down to actually play, but it also ties in some of the most powerful cards in the game, and crazy combos and things like that, fun archetypes. It ties all of that stuff together into this just like dream-like format. I don't know what I was even trying to say there. And I love it. It's absolutely fun. If you guys have not cubed before, you should. And something that I want to sort of segue into with all of this cube stuff is that some people have been asking, well, how do you build a cube? What are your suggestions for building a cube? What kinds of things, do you look for in a card that is meant for a specific cube? Things like that. And so I have in the works, now I don't have a timeline for this, but I have in the works a sort of how to build a cube / what cards are choosing the best cards for cube and things like that based on whatever your cube is designed to do. And that's something that I really want to delve into and actually make sure that we get a video up on, because it seems like something you guys are really interested in. A lot of you have gone out of your way to tell us that you love cube content, and so why should we not make videos on cubes? So that's kind of the plan long term. Obviously that's got some work to go into it first, but getting towards the end of the year, Will and I, obviously we've got vacations and things like that coming up, but I think while I'm in town, if he isn't 1 week or something like that, I'd like to be able to sit down and have some video ideas to work on outside of the normal crack a packs, weekly rambles, etc. So that's kind of the plan. I'm excited about doing all that stuff. Hopefully you guys are excited to see it. And again, if you have video suggestions, whether it's cube or anything else really, let us know in the comments section. We'd love to talk about basically anything Magic. So if you're interested in a particular thing, if you've got a deck you want us to cover, I know somebody did post a deck on one of our past deck techs. We didn't get to it quite yet, only because there was the Golgari aggro deck, which took over the PTQ, which is why we had to we wanted to get that one out. But we do have that in the works as well. We've got a lot of stuff that we want to talk about. So let us know. We are open to whatever in terms of content. Last item of business for this week. I will be gone this coming week due to thankfully my last conference this year for my actual job, my full-time job. And so I'm going to be in Phoenix. I won't be able to record during that week. I'm going to do the best I possibly can to make sure all the crack-a-packs are taken care of. We're going to do the best we can to make sure the podcast is taken care of. Again, it's a little bit easier now, so I'm hoping that's not going to be a big deal. And then I probably will still miss the weekly ramble. I'm getting back on Thursday, so it really depends what time I get back, which I don't know right off. And I'm going to be exhausted from the entire week of conferencing. But I'm going to do the best I can to keep as much of the content up to date as possible. The good news, though, like I said, this is my last trip for the year, meaning I should be more wide open to doing a lot more deck techs, a lot more card spotlights if we want to do, kind of bring those back. I've got a lot of ideas that I want to explore. I'm really, really hoping between now and the end of the year I get to sort of delve into at least a few of those. And again, any suggestions you guys have, we will absolutely explore as well. But yeah, so just a heads up, I just want to keep everybody up to date with the channel and everything. I like this setup. I just want to say, not to harp on this, but I like the fact that I have an actual setup for this now. It makes it feel a little bit more legit. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this weekly ramble. If you did, please make sure to leave a like or a comment down below. And as always, please make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of our awesome content. But with that, I'm going to get out of here. I will see you guys in the next weekly ramble video.